nice for you to take time out on New Year's Day to be with us. I know, that's awesome. Awesome. So on our last show, Dr. Deenie, we talked about New Year's resolutions, and we wanted to get some information because seems like the most popular resolution has always been, I'm going to lose weight. I want to get healthy. I want to be fit and fabulous in the new year. And there's so many things that people will try. Some of them are healthy, the healthy process, and some are not. So we wanted to actually focus on a few different healthy processes that we can offer our viewers if this is something that they're wanting to do. And colonics is one of those things that I feel, because I've had it, Tamia's had it, that are really good ways to kind of get ourselves started. So rather than the two of us sit and talk about our experiences, we said, let's talk to an expert. So Dr. Deenie, tell us about yourself first.
Well, my name is Deenie Leon Robbins. I'm a holistic health practitioner. I'm also a student of naturopathy right now, so I will be a natural doctor in the next few months after I pass the boards. I've been doing colon hydrotherapy for almost 23 years now. I got into it originally because I myself was sick when I was 19 till I was about 26. And what they would call now as IBS or IBD, which is irritable bowel syndrome. They didn't have a so-called cure for it back in those days, because I got sick before everybody found out that they were going to get sick from fast food, Diet Coke, caffeine, and things like that. So I kind of was on my own for 7 years, and then I got Colonics through someone. I had no idea what it was, and it changed my life. So I've had my clinic. We do everything, every form of detoxing in our office, from liver cleanses to lymphatic cleanses to hyperbaric chamber to oxygenate your entire body with cancer. Anything you can imagine, we can help you with. But
that's wonderful.
Colonics is the beginning of everything, because if you don't go to the bathroom on a regular basis, what's happening is those poisons are accumulating in your colon over time. So if you guys want to ask specific questions, or I can just go into my spiel, you tell me what you want.
Oh, absolutely. Well, first of all, wow.
Yes.
My God, that's a long time that you've been doing this, and this is awesome. And, you know, who knew? I know that way back many years ago, as you said, there wasn't really a practice for colonics, but I know people have always been using laxatives as the form of, okay, I'm going to do a cleanse, so I'm going to take laxatives. But then you can overdo that. You can overdo the laxative process and harm yourself more than anything else. Also, enemas, another thing that people would do. Again, you can overdo that, and that's not a great thing. So, you know, tell us how colonics, you know, have taken all of that, pushed it into the corner, and has actually become a real, very therapeutic process, a place to start, because you said, as you said, you know, it's the beginning for, you know, your colorectal health and all your entire body for that matter. So yeah, go ahead, start talking, and we'll pop in questions as we go.
Okay. So if you eat 3 meals a day and you don't go to the bathroom, meaning poop, 3 times a day, where do you think it's going? So it's accumulating. Correct. It accumulates over time. So what people don't realize is they keep saying, oh, well, I'm regular. I go to the bathroom every single morning. Well, are you only eating 1 meal a day? Because most people are eating 3 meals a day. So if you're not doing 3 very large sausage-type poops 3 times a day, you have an accumulation of 1 to 2 meals per day, per month, per year inside of your body. And all diseases start in the colon. Every single disease that there is, because the colon is the part of the body that absorbs the water, the fats, and the proteins. And then it gets rid of whatever the body doesn't want, which is your fecal matter. So what people have to understand is you can do a juice cleanse, you can do a diet, you can do whatever you want, but if you're not going to the bathroom on a regular basis, you're actually not absorbing any nutrients at all, and you're becoming more toxic over time. This is the reason why we have so many autoimmune diseases and cancers and diabetes. It's just getting worse and worse and worse because we think, oh, we'll fast for 10 days and now we're going to be better. Here, let me take these laxatives. The other problem with what you had brought up with the laxatives is people depend on things for outside stimulation. So when you drink coffee, tea, soda, chocolate, or cigarettes, not only are you dehydrating yourself, but you're creating a physical muscular contraction of your colon. So the colon doesn't work on its own anymore. It just waits for the outside stimulation.
Oh.
So then over years, that'll stop working, and then you have to start taking stool softeners, laxatives, Metamucil, Citrusol, and this is all synthetic stuff that's actually hurting your liver and kidneys in the long run. Yeah. So that'll only work for so long, and then you're going into being older, and now nothing's working, and then they start taking sections of your colon out because it becomes so blocked, and eventually you end up with a colostomy bag. So the bottom line is, again, if you eat 3 meals a day, you must poop 3 times a day. This is your goal. If you want to be healthy, if you want to lose weight, if you want to do anything in this whole world, it starts in the colon. Then you would go up to the liver, start cleaning that out, and then eventually once that starts, balancing out and you are going more regularly, you're working on becoming more alkaline. I mean, there's so many different things we can go into, but the colonics beginning of everything, because once you're regular, then anything else you do will actually start working.
Yeah,
that's good to know.
Very good to know. Yeah, I was just going to say, very good to know. What are you going to say?
You were asking me, like, how? Okay, first of all, colonics have been around, colon hydrotherapy, since the Romans, and actually even before then, Egyptians. So it's not something new. They did have colonic machines in the emergency room till 1975, but they didn't see a real need for it because you had so many pharmaceutical drugs that dealt with the symptoms, and then it just kind of grew from there. So it became more of a financial reason versus a health reason. So here we are today. When I started getting colonics, there was only like 3 places in all of Los Angeles County I could go to. Now there's like 100, and this is because people, are seeing more and more of a need of it. I do want to say, though, it's very important that you look at the credentials of the person, how much experience they have. And it doesn't matter if they've been doing it for 30 years. They could be doing it 30 years wrong. Yes. So you want to, hear about whether they're blasting the water in you or are they gently putting the water in you. We can go into that on another day about specifics of that. But we do have an IACT certified, what I belong to is IACT, and the people who belong to them have rules that they have to adhere to, which is very important because I'd say probably almost every center around me isn't IACT certified. So they kind of go to a weekend thing and then they're colonic people, and it's kind of sad. But we're getting it regulated, so eventually it'll be more legitimate. But anyway, back to the colonics. So the reason the colonics are so important is because you want to get your digestive tract on track, no matter what. To lose weight instantly, you'll gain it right back. If you do colonics, you're going to start absorbing your food, the nutrients you need, and getting rid of what your body doesn't need. So by natural effect, you will lose weight. You'll have more energy. Your skin will start glowing. You will feel amazing. You'll have less arthritic type symptoms because you're not in inflammation constantly. So this is the importance of it. So how many colonics does one do? It really depends on one, how much caffeine do you consume? How much bread do you eat? How much red meat do you eat? How clogged up are you? The average American literally goes to the bathroom 2 to 3 times a week. And they don't. Really? Yes. And they don't know that that's not normal. If you start asking all your friends how regular they are, if they go once a day, they think that's amazing.
Exactly.
Really?
Yes, they think it's amazing. But I have more people that say, oh, you're supposed to go more than once or twice a week? I didn't know that. My whole life it's been like that. My whole family's like that. And I'm just in shock all the time.
Then I'm better. Go ahead, Tamia.
Because
And I was just thinking, when you think about it, when babies get here, what do they do? Eat poop, eat poop, eat poop, because their systems is the most cleanest virgin system there is.
This is
And
true.
and they go and they're healthier for it, and but only when you start introducing these synthetic milks or
It's really the rice. It's that dry rice, not even rice, those flaky rice things you put at 6 months.
that rice cereal
That actually starts constipating them.
Exactly.
Like breast milk or a natural formula,
Right.
they would still go to the bathroom after they eat. So as we're slowly introduced to this processed food over the years, we slowly become constipated and dehydrated.
Exactly.
So the main thing people have to think about is, how many times do I go to the bathroom? How much water do I drink in a day? Which I've taught you, Tamia.
Yes.
If you weigh 100 pounds, you must drink 50 ounces of water a day. And that's not water from tea. That's not water from your coffee. It's just water.
Pure
and
water.
For every cup of coffee or tea or soda or chocolate you eat or smoking cigarettes, you have to drink an additional 24 ounces of water per cup of so-called coffee.
So that eight glasses a day that people say, you
it's wrong.
That's all wrong.
Wow.
Well, you would have to weigh 128 pounds, and I don't know many people that weigh 128 pounds.
Yeah.
Children.
Yes, and that is something that I've been learning. Not only did Dr. Deenie reiterate that when I was introduced to her, I absolutely love you, Dr. Deenie.
Oh, thank you. And you are so loved.
Yes, thank you. And also with this program that I've been going through, Kaiser Healthy Balance, and half of your body weight. People don't realize that. They figure, oh, I had my 8 glasses, that's enough. But my weight versus someone else's weight, it's going to be a difference. And so I've been working up to it with the water. I have seen a great difference, because I am one of those that I love water, but I just wasn't being conscious enough to get the amount of half body weight. I haven't got there yet. I can do for sure every day is 64, but I'm up to 96, and I'm looking. Yes, but I'm looking to get to that half my body weight. Getting enough water in my body so that I am getting the 3 times a day.
Right. But also, don't forget, especially because it's the beginning of the year, everybody's going to the gym. So they're running like maniacs. So for every hour that you work out, you have to drink, depending on how hard you're working out, how much you're sweating, you have to drink 20 to 40 ounces of water additional per hour. So if you have an hour and a half workout, you're looking at like maybe 60 ounces more of water.
Wow.
So people really have to be conscious of that, and those energy drinks, they're a killer, because those you're going to have to drink like an additional gallon of water.
Exactly.
I'm learning something new. You're blowing my mind. I didn't realize that. Wow.
Yeah. And I think that's a lot of things, that misconception or miseducation, I should say, of the concept of drinking water. I think a lot of people don't realize that it's half your body weight. And like Dr. Deenie just reiterated, you're sweating, working in the yard, working in the gym, working around the house. If you've sweated a little extra, or on a hot day, you've sweated a little more, you've put out more. So you need to put in a little extra additional to your half your body weight. And I am learning that, and that is really sticking. And it's just like, wow, okay. This is what I need to do. Never have I, you don't hear that. You hear the basic 30.
8 glasses. Yeah. 8 glasses a day.
Yeah.
That's the standard that you hear. And even doctors say that, and then nutritionists have been saying, the 8 glasses of water a day. And I think I've seen a trend where there are many people who are now doing a lot more drinking water. And I don't know if it's because they're meeting people like you, Dr. Deenie, who are, opening up their eyes. But I do see more people now who are constantly drinking water. I must say that I have fallen into the trap of, oh, well, I'm drinking tea. So, and of course I drink coffee, two cups in the morning. And then I'm thinking, well, that's, my cup is at least, 8 ounces. So that's water. And oh my God, no, it's not.
Well, no. So the example I use in the room, Neil will tell you is, so let's say your friend weighs 100 pounds and she drinks 50 ounces of water religiously, but she stops at Starbucks and drinks 2 cups of coffee on the way to the office. 1 8-ounce cup of coffee has over 135 milligrams of caffeine, which extracts up to 24 ounces of water from your system. So on one hand, she put 50 ounces of water in, but when she drank the 2 cups of coffee, she peed out because it becomes a diuretic.
Right.
48 ounces of water. So now she only has 2 ounces of water to hydrate, oxygenate, and detoxify her 100-pound body. Is it going to work? No. And if she has an iced tea, soda, or a piece of chocolate that day, she's in a deficit.
Yeah.
So now she has no water, and now she really owes her body water. So that's why we have so many dehydrated people walking around 24/7, and people don't recognize that. And then I have people say, I hate water. How do you hate water? Do you hate air? I mean,
I know.
It doesn't make sense to me at all. But if you hate water, then squeeze some lemon in it, or squeeze some tangerine in it. Do not use that garbage Crystal Light and all those chemical things that are killing your kidneys and your liver, because 10 years from now you'll regret that you ever did that. So just take a fresh piece of fruit, squeeze it in your water if you really don't like water, so that you can at least get it down every day.
Yeah.
I don't get it either. How can you not like water? I love water. But now let me ask you, is there a difference between drinking just, just regular room temperature water versus water with ice, or, icy cold water?
Okay. So basically the reason you're attracted, which I'm one of those people, to ice cold water is it's got a crisper like flavoring feeling to it, and it's quenching. But what it's quenching is the heat that's inside of you that's not supposed to be there. If you know about acupuncture or Eastern medicine, you have a dampness inside of you, which I also suffer from, which I'm trying to fix. So cold water resonates with me when I really should drink room temperature water, because it doesn't put your body in shock. And when you're drinking cold, you're going into shock, which just makes the body tense, and then you're having a harder time for assimilating anything. So it is better room temperature, but if you don't drink water and you can only do it by drinking cold water, whatever it takes to make you drink water will make me happy, okay?
I love it. So continue on now with the process. So we're drinking more water.
Go ahead. About water. So really important. I'm not selling you guys on anything. Alkaline water is very important. Everybody says, oh, there's the fat, and this could be a whole nother series. But it's very important that people try to get alkaline water, only because our diets are so far from alkaline that it's kind of an easier way of getting you to the point of where you need to be to become hydrated. The more alkaline you are, that means there's more oxygen in your bloodstream, and the more water you're going to absorb. And this will get you to a healthier state, because actual cancer, diabetes, or autoimmune diseases especially, can't survive in an oxygenated environment. So the more alkaline and hydrated you are, the healthier you'll become. So this is important. So if you can get, even the spring water is 7.5. So that's a low alkaline that you could actually take with medicine. Anything above up to a 9.5, perfect. That would be awesome, okay, if you can manage to do that as frequently as possible. But I am going to warn you, the purified water that you buy at Costco, the stuff that says drinking water, Densani, Aquafina, all these waters, if you test the pH of it, they're the same acid level as drinking a 7-Up all day. And that's another reason people go to the bathroom so much when they drink the cheapy waters. It's not a financial thing. You could even put a little baking soda or squeeze a lemon in your water, and it makes it alkaline. So people can't say, oh, I can't afford it. You can afford a lemon. You can afford a little bit of baking soda.
Interesting.
You can get a really big 5-pound bag at Costco for really inexpensive, and it goes a long way.
Okay, so back to the colonics. So I do it completely different than most centers do. I'm all about very gentle. I'm not a technician. I'm an actual colon hydrotherapist. And so I'm kind of doing a whole nother spin, the people I train to be more like me, because I believe in, one, educating you, but two, the experience should not be so intense that you're holding on your breath and waiting and painful, etc. It should be almost as if you're not feeling anything, but you sort of are feeling something, because the more you relax, the more you release. So the water goes gently up inside of you. As soon as we hit a blockage, which usually is gas, we release it. So the water goes up, release it. We use all disposable speculums. Everything's disposable in the room, so you can't get anything from somebody else. It's a 2-inch little teeny child's tip, so that, again, isn't going to hurt you. And we're just putting triple filtered water in your system. You know, we get a lot of people saying, oh, you're going to take all the good flora out. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. You're not taking all the good flora out, because most people don't have a lot of good flora, because they don't even eat anything that has flora to actually adhere to the dirty walls in your colon in the first place. So we can have that on another day of specifics. But, so anyway, we do a little bit of reflexology on you, and we stimulate, you know, by stimulating your liver, your gallbladder, and your colon, and that helps remove the gas. So once you're on your back, you'll start defecating, and, you know, the poop will start coming out a little bit more regularly. Your gas will come out. You should feel a little more empty and lighter and flatter when you walk away. So again, we teach you about hydration, nutrition, everything you need to do, as well as anatomy and physiology, so you understand how your body works and how colonics apply to that. And you usually should do a minimum of a series of 3 within 10 to 12 days. And the only reason we say that is the farther you spread them out, the more gas you make and the less progress we make.
Yeah.
And
Interesting.
that's 3 for someone who goes at least once a day. So it's more for more people that are Americans with the American diet. They would do more of like 6 colonics, maybe 10 colonics, but it's something, it depends on the individual, and we can tell you on your first session. I try to get you out in the least amount, because from the first colonic, I've taught you so much, and you go home with a homework pack, and you're so informed that you can make the decision to get better faster. So the more hydrated, the more things you listen to me about during that time period in between colonics, guess what? You're going to make more progress, and 3 might be your number. So it's not about me keeping you in the office to keep going. My goal is to educate you enough that you just fly. You come in, we clean you out, and then you come once every 3 months for maintenance and call it a day. You're doing fantastic.
So colonics should really just be a part of your healthy health routine.
Correct.
Just like, just like you go in for a checkup, you know, with your doctor on a regular basis, this is also something that we should be adding and doing on a regular basis.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
I mean, based on our GMO food, all the processed food, I mean, if we were in the world 50 years ago, and when the food was real and we were actually getting nutrients, you wouldn't need it for more than maintenance. But because, you know, because I get a lot of people who say, well, the body is designed to get rid of toxins on its own, which is absolutely true. But it has so many layers of toxins in it from all the processed food and the lack of actually healthy natural foods. Plus you're not absorbing anything because you're not going to the bathroom. So it's like this endless cycle that you're in a catch-22. So once you learn the right way to start eating, drinking water, you know, moving a little bit, you don't even have to go to the gym every day. Just walk a block a day, get the body moving a little bit. You'd be surprised at how amazingly strong you will wake up with a skip in your step. You won't be so groggy and dragging. A lot of depressions are solely caused by being toxic, because then it causes headaches, this and that, and they medicate you versus cleanse you. So if more people would attempt to do actual cleansing internally, they would feel so great. They'd be glowing. I can't tell you how many people, they've only had 2 or 3 colonics, and people are going, oh my God, what are you doing different? You look amazing. Did you get a new facial? Wow, you're glowing. And you're not even pregnant.
That's awesome. That's good. I know that when I went for the colonic, my first time going, the purpose was because I had heard from, you know, friends, if you want to lose at least 20 pounds, go get a colonic. You know, they'll flush it all out of you, and then you've got to jump start onto any diet. So of course, you know, I am the, you know, got to admit, I've tried probably every diet there ever was, you know, and I'll do whatever it takes. And that was during my period of, I'm going to do this because people keep telling me that it's not attractive, you know, and I didn't know to love myself, you know. After I began loving Cydia as she was, things changed. But when I went and I had it, and my mindset was, okay, this is for me, I'm going to lose some weight. I really did actually feel phenomenal. The person, however, the clinic that I went to didn't really give me as much education as you've given in just a few minutes. It was more of, this is what we're going to do. If you want to watch, there's a little tank here, and you're just going to feel this rush, you know, and it was really rather uncomfortable, the process. And after it was over and heading home, I didn't think I was going to make it home. It was like, you know, it was like, why didn't they tell me I should put on a diaper, you know? Yeah. So it's good to hear, you know, that your process is so much different. You know?
It is.
Yeah. To me,
and I can speak to that it is very much different. The last time I had a colonic, not most recent, but years ago, total different, night and day, Dr. Deenie versus what I did many years ago. The facility, even Dr. Deenie's facility, cleaner, brighter, the atmosphere, the spirit within there, lighter and better. The explanation, the breaking down, even the diagram of the body of how it works, that, because to me, the way I learn, break it down to me, give me an understanding, don't just tell me what you're going to do, but then I grasp it, and then I can see it, and then there's a visual and all of that, and it just helped better. And then I was able to explain it to other friends and family, and told them about it, and they've come and they've experienced it, and we've of course talked on the side of, how did you feel, how was it for you, and no one gave a negative experience. They were all like, yeah, this is something that they liked, enjoyed. Of course they had a little apprehension beforehand, because no one knows what it's all about, you know. You know, from the insertion of the speculum to the release, you know, thinking it was going to be uncomfortable, but they were totally like wowed as to what they thought and what they experienced, totally different. And it was an awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
That's
but
good.
I do know that because I went through what you went through, but probably worse when they were doing colonics to me back then. I mean, I was, 26 years old. It was really, really long time ago. And it was devastating. And then I still had 9 more to go back for. And I was scared.
Wow.
And I always swore that if I ever owned a clinic, not that I thought I was going to do this for a living, but it was not what I was planning on. But honestly, if I ever had a clinic, or if I was ever going to do that to someone, I would find another way to do it, because that was just horrible. And the stories I hear and the things I read online, it still is that way, because they're just technicians. They're not actually involved with the, actually the whole process, from the machine to the person, and the person to delete, getting rid of all the toxins that are in them. So it's kind of like driving a car. You have to look in front of you, to the side of you, and in back of you all at the same time. You can't just put water in someone and watch it come out and just massage a little bit. That's not really the way it's effective for the individual, because you're building a relationship with that person. They're in a very compromising position. And the more you educate them, and the more they understand what they need to do to change, the better the outcome.
Yes.
And it's all about the outcome, You want that person to get better. You want that person to be able to go to their doctor and their numbers go down and they can get off their medications. There's so much to it, but again, it all starts in the colon.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I must say, I mean, even though the process that I went through, it wasn't as comfortable, because what it felt like was a fire hose, and at full power, with water going whoosh. And it's like, you hold it till you can't hold it anymore, and I felt like I was just being blown up like a balloon. And then the release was, the first time was actually spectacularly painful. You know, I did feel lighter. I did feel after my three times that everything that I had ever eaten as a child, you know, that had probably been stored someplace in my body was gone, you know, and I did feel lighter, but that was my last time going there. I just, you know, it was like, okay, I can't do this, you know, with these people anymore. Somehow, you know, even though I didn't know much, I knew enough to say, this just doesn't seem right. Yeah.
Well, it's not really a matter of right or wrong, because there's more people that do it that way than there is people that do it my way. I just think because of my experiences and being sick for 7 years that I guess, and I also did marketing research for such a long time and product placement. So I'm more in touch with the public than I am anything else. So I think like you, like if it was me, how would I want this presented to me? If it was me, how would I want someone to do this to me? And I'm always going over this with my staff, because it's hard to find people who are people oriented to really understand, like, oh, wow, this person's really nervous. Let's keep talking, and or tell them about something else, you know, so that they feel more comfortable and they stay calm. You know, it's just, to me, it's common sense, but to others, it's a whole nother ball of wax. So I'm not putting down other places. It's just they literally are technicians. They're taught to put the water, as you said, fire hose. That exactly was my experience. It was like you took the backyard hose, attached it, and blasted it.
Yeah.
And I was out of my mind, scared. I had no one to talk to. I almost went to the bathroom in my car. I mean, it was horrible. And then I went back 9 more times. But in the meantime, it was like 3 or 4 colonics in when I started cleaning out all that backup that I actually started feeling better. So I knew that there was something to that, because I had done everything else. I had lost weight. I was running. On the outside, I looked really healthy. But on the inside, I was completely a mess. And no one can help me. They just kept giving me antibiotics, which was making me sicker and weaker each time.
Right. I mean, I think our you know, our society tends to always lean to the medication because, you know, you said something about colonics helpful with, you know, arthritic pain because of the inflammation in our bodies. And, you know, I, over the last many years, get plagued with a lot of arthritic pain, to the point where I've had a hip replaced, a knee replaced. I could get a shoulder replaced. I've, you know, my foot, there's arthritis in my big toe, just all kinds of stuff, you know, and it's like, why, God, why me? Why am I in so much pain? And even though I don't like to take pills, and I will hold out as long as I possibly can without leaning on the medication, I know that it will give me relief. But if there's a better way to, you know, to keep and maintain you know, a healthy, pain-free body, I'm going for it. And I love what you were saying, that, you know, it all starts there in the colon, and that when you've cleansed and you've removed all of those toxins out of your body, that you are so much healthier, so you don't have to rely on those pills.
Yeah.
I'm sure doctors don't like you very much.
You know what? You'd be surprised. I mean, a lot of them say I'm a quack, but I actually have a lot of medical doctors that actually are my clients, which is crazy, but because they get it. But I can't say it's enough to compensate for how many think I'm a quack. So, you know, also I wanted to address something you said. Like your friends were telling you that, oh, go get a colonic, you'll lose 20 pounds. No, you won't. I guarantee you, you won't. And if you can, then I need to get a $5,000 bonus, because and I need to get on my own colonic table and get that 20 pounds myself, you know? But it's because I do have people with that expectation, and you might lose. Some people have lost 10 pounds just doing from Thursday to Monday, doing a Thursday, Friday, and a Monday colonic. But they're also doing different things, cleanse-wise, which would make them lose water weight, etc. And the reality is also, don't make 3 your number, because if you live on bread and coffee, I'm going to be knowing you for a very long time. And I don't mean for maintenance. I mean like
Right.
weekly colonics until we change the diet. And in your case, the reason why you keep getting arthritis that's spreading is you have too much uric acid in your body, which means you're not alkaline enough. So you have to change your diet. That's the start, and you've got to get colonics, and then you're going to go into more stuff, more like ionic foot baths and infrared saunas to pull out the toxins that are in the bloodstream and the muscle tissue, and that will turn all that around. So we're not going to take you off the drugs. The doctors do that, but we get your body to the state that you no longer need them, and you're amazing, even though you're already amazing, but you're
Yes,
really
I am. Yes, I am, but I'd like to be pain-free and amazing.
Yes. It's not that difficult. It's really, it's all perspective, and it's all being willing to change, because medicine is a great quick fix. I'm not saying that we don't need medicine. In some cases you do, you know, but there are other solutions. And before we have to get to that point that we're permanently on something, why can't you just make a few dietary changes and drink some freaking water?
Right.
You know, put some, if you want something hot in the morning, hot water with lemon. Hey, what a concept. Your body will actually think it's coffee if it's not completely addicted, and you'll still have a bowel movement. But you'll be healthy.
I'm going to start that. You know, my New Year's resolution has been that I'm going to kind of release my hold on myself. I tend to be one of those who I like to orchestrate everything. I orchestrate my daily life. I orchestrate others, you know, their lives. I orchestrate relationships, you know, so that everything flows the way I want it to. And this year I said, you know what, I'm just going to let go. I'm going to let God, and I'm going to let whatever blessings come. And when I do that, you know, wonderful things happen. So, you know, for me, that's sort of my proactive yet, you know, reactive kind of yin yang resolution. I don't really have to do a whole lot because I'm letting go, you know, but I want to be in receive mode, you know, more so than a reactive mode to all goodness. So yeah, I can do that. I can actually do that. I know that I'm Latina, and coffee is, you know, you get weaned off milk and then you go right to the coffee, you know, café con leche. So my whole life I've been drinking coffee. As an adult, I drink it black. And when I don't have my coffee, I start getting headaches, and I do get migraines, which is another thing, you know, that I'd love to be rid of. But when I stop drinking the coffee, when I stop, you know, all of this, then you end up with, you know, these violent headaches. I would rather drink the hot water with lemon. I think my body would probably appreciate it much more. And, you know, maybe it will help so that I don't end up with those feelings, because I know it's really withdrawal, you know, that's causing that.
Well, caffeine is an actual legal drug. And so everyone who does drink it on a regular basis, even green tea, what happens is the caffeine, your body craves it, needs it, depends on it. So it's always a 3-day binge. So if you can get through the first 3 days, it's fine. What I tell my clients to do is to cut back. So let's say you do 3 cups a day. Okay, tomorrow we start with 2. Next week, we're going to go down to 1. Then the week after that, you're going to go down to half. This way, you're still feeding it, so there's no headaches involved. And then when you get down to the half and you go down to the quarter, in the meantime, you're introducing the water with the lemon or the chamomile tea or the mint tea, something that has no caffeine. And I don't mean decaf. I mean no caffeine.
Right.
So you will make that transition with no headache. And it's kind of sad when you really think about it, that we've been doing, not me personally, but people have been doing it for so long that it is a drug like smoking or anything else, and it's legal.
Yes.
And it's sad because it is hard to come off of stuff like that. So you can imagine people who have graduated from coffee to opiates and all this other stuff.
Right.
You know, it keeps going.
Right. That's a very good point, because you're right. We do it. We don't think about it as a drug, But for those people who are easily susceptible to addictions,
Right.
you know, you can see the easy transition. Well, I drink coffee all the time, and that coffee, you know, is feeding that
Stimulant.
that stimulant. And so to try something else that's just a little, you know, more of an edge, you know, or to take off a little more edge, you know, I can see how they can do that and transition from one to the other to the other. Yeah.
Right.
So
Absolutely. And in the meantime, you're dehydrating, you know,
yes.
and it's just, it's hard to come back from that. So what you want to do is start introducing the water now. No matter how you got to do it, just do it. And then when you get the colonics, it meets you halfway, because I'm also hydrating you when you're getting a colonic. But you need to be drinking the water.
Right. Oh, you're drinking the water as you're having the colonic? Is that what you're doing?
No.
Oh, I was going to say.
In between.
In between. Okay.
Yeah. We got to meet somewhere in the middle at some point.
Yeah,
you're drinking when you're not with me, and I'm hydrating from the other side.
Okay. Very cool. Very cool. Well, I think that's fascinating. I absolutely do. And, you know, I hope our viewers are paying attention and taking note and realizing, you know, that this is actually far healthier resource, you know, and has a much longer effect on them, you know, than a lot of the other things. I mean, going to the gym is a good thing. Fad diets that we all, you know, want to go on and lose that. And it's always, I do this because I want that quick jump start. You know, and I'm guilty of it. You know, you get the jump start, and then once you're into the real deal of a good healthy diet and exercising, the weight doesn't just fall off. You know, it takes time. So I know with me, I become discouraged after a while. You know, that was my process. And so that's why it was kind of like I had somebody describe to me going on heroin. That first time you try heroin, you have the most amazing high, and you never, ever have it again. So you're continuously taking the heroin in search of the high. So I think with those of us who diet and use the tricks, the fab, you know, I'm going to go and get wrapped like a mummy and sit in a hot room with herbs all underneath this and sweat it away in plastic, wanting colonics to be the answer. We're looking for that quick fix high that we get when we drop off those first few pounds.
Correct.
And then afterwards, you know, when your body is naturally releasing and weight is coming off, you know, we're like, wait a minute, this isn't working. You know, I gotta go back and get another quick fix. So I don't know.
Right.
Have you found that with any
all the time?
All the time.
All the time.
And coming in. Yeah.
Yeah. And, you know, I was a victim of that many times. And I think I have tons of clients that come in that it's funny because people will get to where they want to be. And then they feel so comfortable that they forget where they were because they were feeling crappy. They were overweight. Now they're at a good weight and they're, you know, running around with their friends. And a year later, they're calling me like, oh my God, I'm getting this wrong with me. My doctor said my numbers are going back up, because they take it for granted now because they did lose the weight and they, you know, and now they're getting sick again, but worse than before. And when I say sick, it's not just weight gain. I mean, their diabetes is coming back, or their IBS is coming back, or their, you know, I don't know, they start having their symptoms of, you know, any autoimmune disease, you know, fibromyalgia, this or that, you know, which they weren't feeling anymore because they were on track. But back to the diet thing, it's never a diet. There is no diet. It's a lifestyle. It's completely lifestyle change. So if you know that for the rest of your life, you are only going to have 1 cup of coffee a week, you have to be able to believe in that and be able to understand that's it, you know, and that you have to drink X amount of ounces of water every day. fine. That has to be something you accept, just like you have to wash your clothes or you have to brush your teeth and floss every day. It's something you have to accept. You can't eat bread all the time. You can't, you know what I mean? There's more cans. You can eat tons of vegetables with your protein. You know, we teach food combining, which is really important too. When people start adhering to that, they end up eating less carbs and more vegetables and salads and proteins and fruit for breakfast. That changes their lives, their whole way of eating. And everyone goes, oh, well, I go to the restaurant. You know, that's not how they give us the food. Guess what? You're in a restaurant. They have to make it the way you want them to make it.
That's right.
They make it.
Exactly.
So people forget that because they don't want to be a hassle. Well, you're paying to be a hassle. You know? You're not asking
Good point.
for, you know, don't put salt in it. You're not being that picky. You're saying, hey, you know what? Instead of French fries, I think I'll have some steamed broccoli, you know?
Right.
Or a baked potato with vegetables on the side instead of a piece of fish on that if I'm going to eat my baked potato. I mean, there's just so many different things, but you have to accept it as a lifestyle change because you have to stick to it forever.
I'm really happy to hear you say that about food combinations. That's something that I read a book way back about
Fit for Life.
Fit for Life. Thank you.
Right.
That's the book. Yes. That you shouldn't have these combinations. And while I don't adhere to it all the time, I try to, you know, follow it as much as possible. Where if I'm going to have, you know, a protein, I try not to have a carb with it. Let me have my veggies. I've actually, because of Fit for Life, I've reduced my intake of red meat and type of red meat.
That's great.
You know? Yeah. And that's been years. You know, every now and again, you know, the old taste buds, and I don't even think it's taste buds. I think it's up here. The mind says, I must have that steak. I need that steak. And the truth of the matter is, it really isn't. It's just, you see it, you smell it, your brain tricks you into thinking you got to have it. Yeah. Whereas I'm really much happier with, poultry and fish.
Correct.
And if you give me a bowl of lettuce with all kinds of, you know, peppers and onions, I'm really very happy. Yeah. I can eat salads all day, every day. And the same thing with soup, you know, I could do that. I could, you know, but of course I know I need protein. So it's really good to hear you say that mix, because that again is something that I don't think people really pay attention. And a lot of people poo-pooed that book as well when it first came out.
You know, Mary Lou Henner included it in her book, and Suzanne Summers included it in her book. So it's not just Fit for Life, but I've narrowed it down. This is really easy, even though this isn't on the Colonic page right now.
Yeah, right.
I make a triangle. And on the top of the triangle here, this is fruit by itself in all situations, not in your cereal, not in your oatmeal, not on top of your waffles. Fruit is always by itself, okay?
Yes.
So the other sides of the triangle, over here is your starches, and over here is your protein. And in the middle is your vegetables and salad. So if you see the triangle, all 3 points don't go together. Fruit, no. Starch, no. Protein, no. But if you want to eat the starches, you can have all the vegetables and salad that's in the middle.
Right.
If you want to eat a protein, you can have all the vegetables and salad in the middle. But you can't have starch and protein. And fruit is always by itself. So when somebody realizes the triangle, they can't mess up because, okay, I'm going to eat chicken, so now I can have vegetables and salad. Oh, now I want to eat rice today. I'm craving rice. Well, I have to eat that with a vegetable and a salad. I just can't have chicken and rice.
Right. Exactly.
So this is a good thing for people to
I like
remember.
that. I like that. We may have to put that in on our page so people know that. That's
I have all that. Well, I'll send you stuff.
Please do, because then we can show what we're talking about,
Right.
you know, when we air the interview, and then we can also use that and refer people to, you know, so to your clinic, you know.
Right. So also what I was telling you in the beginning is, to me, I'll tell you, I use the intestinal chart. I have the very sick person and the very healthy person, what you came in with and what you're leaving with. And it is easy when what I'm saying to you. Not, I wasn't that specific today, but when I'm pointing and then I'm touching you when we're doing the colonic, it makes you part of the whole experience, and now it's clicking even more, because I have a lot of videos and people watch it, but it's kind of like monotonous. You have a person's attention span for about 30 seconds to a minute. So it really makes a difference. So I'll send you that, you know, like,
please do,
so that you can like go to that, then they can go, oh, that's what she's talking about, you know.
Awesome. That'd be great.
So do you feel like I explained the colonics part? I mean, because we went on different tangents.
I know.
No, but it's all part of the colonic. The first 45 minutes in my clinic, when you're in the colonic room, this is all covered.
This is awesome.
You walk out like dizzy, but then we hand you a homework pack that reiterates everything I say. So you can't say, well, I didn't understand. Well, the last 2 pages is your shopping page, and it tells you what foods to eat with what. So what didn't you get?
That's awesome. I think that is great and phenomenal. And I think that, you know, for our viewers, if, you know, your New Year's resolution is, I want to lose some weight, or I just want to get fit and healthy, because, you know, Dr. D, our mantra, I guess, so to speak, isn't, you know, we're not here to tell you about diets, you know, losing weight, you know, being skinny. You know, our whole purpose is for people to feel empowered and to love themselves. Absolutely. And to know that no matter your size, you know, you can, you know, do great things.
Absolutely.
So, but we want you to be healthy.
Yes.
And, you know, that's it. That's the bottom line. We just want you to be healthy. So whatever that means to you, you know, we are going to present things so that you are healthy. And that's the whole point. That's the whole point of what we've got going. So what those who, as I said, decided that this is a way that I'm starting 2019 is I'm going to, you know, as Janus, the god, you know, who has the head looking back and looking forward, you know, so last year you blew it. All right. When you stuffed yourself and you did all kinds of things that you shouldn't have done. But looking forward, you want to get healthy. So this is a way. This is an opportunity to get yourself, you know, on the right track. Just like Dr. Deenie said, it all begins in the colon. Cleanse. Get that cleanse, you know, and we'll have Dr. Deenie's information. So if for those of you who are in the California, LA area, you'll have the opportunity to be able to go and let Dr. Deenie educate you, get you started, just like Tamia did and is doing, you know, and I'm probably going to be right there behind, right with you.
Literally.
Yeah, literally.
I do want to say something really quick.
Yes, please do.
Enemas do 6 to 10 inches of the colon, if you're lucky. A colonic does up to 6 feet. So just keep that in mind. And also, there are a lot of cleansers out there that are colon cleansers.
Yes.
They really don't work unless you're hydrated. So people have to understand, and don't be taking psyllium. A lot of naturopaths, and I'm becoming a naturopath, they'll say, oh, take psyllium. You can't take psyllium until you are already going to the bathroom a little bit and you're drinking a lot of water, because it will back up inside of you. So the bottom line is, don't think you can run and go get that cleanse that's supposed to clean out your colon in 3 days and you're going to lose 10 pounds, because nor is that the solution. The solution is you changing your diet, drinking more water, and then cleansing from the inside. It all works together.
Yeah.
Awesome. Tremendous words of wisdom.
Yes.
Dr. Deenie, you said it all right there. It all works together, you know, and get our triangle going. I so thank you for taking the time to let us do this interview. You've got to come back.
Definitely. There's a lot to teach.
Absolutely. You've got to come back, keep us going. Hopefully, maybe at some point we can get you on the show with us, and you can talk to, you know, while all of us is work together. And maybe at one point we can come, you know, and as you're going through the process with one of us, we can take and, you know, come back and have that. So
Absolutely.
people can
Well,
actually
that's how
see.
Tamia saw me with Glozell.
Yes, that's how
Glozell
it
did hers. We're still trying to get the footage back on that one, but they went out of business or something.
Oh,
There's
okay.
one more important thing that I really
Yes.
love for you to have for the viewers to see.
Mm-hmm.
So you're making your resolutions now. Don't make your expectations too high and unrealistic. Do baby steps. Everything is a baby step. And a baby step could be drinking just one less cup of coffee. That's a huge resolution right there.
Yes, it is.
Drinking one extra cup of water. That's amazing. Don't say, oh, I'm going to become vegan tomorrow and I'm going to do this and this and this, because realistically what happens in the long run, and this is what I teach my clients, because other colonic centers say, oh, you have to juice for 24 hours before you come. Not true. So basically, anything that you're going to decide to do, just realize that decide something that's within your means, something that you can do. You can go to the store and prep your food, maybe a couple of meals a day, or you're going to juice. Try one juice a day and then work yourself up into the juicing, because what happens in the long run is if you mess up one day and you mess up another day, internally you feel like a failure. So in the future, when you try to go do another cleanse, you already failed at it before and you kicked yourself so many times that you don't want to do it again. So it's intimidating. Don't do that to yourself. Make something easy, one little thing at a time. So, okay, you don't have a juicer, you have a blender. Okay, let's try celery and, you know, maybe some spinach and put an apple in there so it doesn't taste so bad. And that's your juice for that day. And then work your way up to a carrot juice and a this and a that. But slowly, don't think that, oh, I have to juice for 10 days and I'm going to lose all this weight, because the minute you start eating something, you're going to gain the weight back and then you're going to feel it's a catch-22. So just try to make things incorporated into your life the same as you did with flossing.
Yes.
You know, just slowly add, and then you'll be a winner no matter what. And you'll feel amazing because you've accomplished so many new things.
That's awesome. Words of wisdom from Dr. Deenie.
Thank you.
I mean, truly, words of wisdom, and it's the truth. So I thank you again.
Thank you
for being with us. We look forward to having you come back on again.
Absolutely.
And, you know, and look for me behind Tamia. You
Absolutely.
know, okay, part of my New Year. So
I think I see her next week.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
Yes.
All right. I may be right behind you then. So we'll see. We'll work that out. Get my appointment in.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Have a wonderful day. And
you too. Happy New Year.
Same to you. And viewers, we'll see you on the Nest.